Good afternoon, I'm Jodie Gill and this is your Midday News Fix for Friday, the 2nd of August. The government's officially concluding its coordinated cross-government response to the Royal Commission of the inquiry into the Christchurch mosque attacks. The announcement comes almost 5.5 years since the attacks, in which 51 people were killed. Here's senior political reporter Sophie Trigger.
Lead Coordination Minister Judith Collins says the inquiry has raised a number of issues around safety and security, with 36 of the inquiry's 44 recommendations being implemented. A firearms safety authority and a Ministry of Ethnic Communities have been set up, and a security threat environment report has been published.
Collins says work will continue to support those affected through the everyday activities of existing government agencies. She and Matt Ducey will be the main points of contact. The Chief Children's Commissioner says we need to recognise the moment we're in and take action to protect children from harm. The Independent Children's Monitor says tamariki are no safer today than when Tauranga 5-year-old Malachi Subesh died. He was murdered by his carer in November 2021, and a damning review the following year recommended sweeping changes, but they've not been implemented. Claire Ahmad says this comes a week on from the findings of the Abuse in Care inquiry.
This report again shows us that we've got a lot of work to do in our country to make it a safe place for every child. That work can be done and it must be done.
A push for more conversations on compensation for Northland businesses after the release of Transpower's report on its fallen power pylon, blaming a contractor's unsupervised and experienced staff. Transpower says it can't compensate businesses, but says residents can contact their retailer. North Chamber Chief Executive Darren Fisher says talk of goodwill towards the overall brand of Northland is too fluffy.
Our large employers that were gracious enough to switch their power off 4 or 5 days to allow the grid demand from residential households to continue, those people need some direct compensation.
Children's Minister Karen Chaw says MPs who she claims have bullied her know who they are. She's under pressure over policies like boot camps and the bid to repeal Oranga Tamariki's treaty obligations, but she's told staff she feels the debate shifted from policy to personal attack. Chaw, who's been open about her own experience in state care, told the Tova podcast her trauma has been questioned by some in the opposition.
We constantly talk about wanting to have a victim-led response, a victim voice at the table. Now there is a victim's voice at the table. Are we going to bully them out of that position?
Hastings Flaxmere looks to be in line for having a supermarket again after losing its new world in February. The council's entered a sale and purchase agreement for vacant land in the town centre with an unnamed buyer. In sport, US superstar Simone Biles has won her second all-round title at the Olympics, her 5th career gymnastics gold, cementing her legacy as the greatest ever in her sport and among the best in history. A golden hour for Kiwi rowers at the Paris Games, with women's doubles scullers Lucy Spores and Brooke Francis winning gold, the men's 4 claiming silver and the women's 4 earning bronze. New Zealand are 12th on the medal table with 2 golds, 2 silvers and a bronze. China lead with 11 gold medals from the USA's 9. I'm Jodie Gill and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.